After studying over 1,000 hours of viral YouTube videos, I finally cracked the code to making viral videos on command. My last YouTube video got over 2,000 views in less than 2 days, while having almost 4% click-through rate and bringing me more than 50 subscribers. But that's not all. One of my previous clients got 10,000 views on his video that I helped him make while having only 3,000 subscribers. Also, I've managed to get more than 7,000 views on my first video on this channel, with some of my short-form content getting millions of views. So, in today's video, I'm going to show you how you can replicate these results in 3 easy steps, and I'm going to give you free resources to help you succeed. And no, this isn't going to be one of those generic how to grow on YouTube videos. This stuff actually works. So let's begin. All of these gurus on YouTube are trying to make content creation seem more complicated than it really is. So I'm going to oversimplify it for you. YouTube only wants 2 things from its users, and that is to click on the video and watch the video. I'll tell you how you can get people to click on your videos later on in this video. But first of all, we need a script. And even more importantly, we need something to write a script about. So how are we going to find an idea for our video? Easy. Go on YouTube, search your niche, see what videos are doing well, and add your own spin to them. Boom, it's as easy as that. Just don't overcomplicate it. After you've done that, we can start writing our masterpiece. But how? Let's simplify it a little. Your script can essentially be broken down into 3 parts: hook, value, and call to action. Each of them have their own purpose. Let's start with the hook. Hook is used to get people who have just clicked on your video interested, so they keep watching. Here are the 3 hooks which work the best. Statement hook. At the beginning of your video, make a bold claim which you can back up in order to grab the viewer's attention, like I did at the start of this video. After studying over 1,000 hours of viral YouTube videos, I finally cracked the code to making viral videos on command. All of these viral videos also use this hook.
So this is the blueprint to making $10,000 a month online as a beginner in 2024.
If you understand the steps that I'm about to share with you in this video, you will be able to step-by-step create a fortune.
Next hook is story hook. At the beginning of your video, you're going to drop your viewers into the most exciting part of the story, kind of like this.
So you guys lost the plane.
Hey man, you're detained.
I'm detained? For asking where a plane went, I'm being detained?
If you do this correctly, your viewers should be hooked and ready to watch your whole video. And the last hook is question hook. With this hook, you're going to ask a question at the beginning of your video that your viewers want to know the answer to, kind of like this.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to fail in business? And is that fear keeping you away from making money and living the life you've always wanted to live?
If you ask a really good question, you'll get a lot of people to stay and watch your video, which means you'll get more views. Okay, we've covered the hook, and now we're going to cover the value. See if you can keep up. The most common way to give away value is through some sort of list, which as we can see, clearly works. Now, for example, let's say that we're going to make a list of 3 tips that we're going to give away in our video. Each of these tips has its own hook, which as we said, can be a story, statement, or a question. And only after you re-hook the viewers should you explain the point. These are my retention graphs, before and after I started using this method. Also, each of these points also has its own call to action, which can act as sort of a preview as to what the next point is going to be about. Here's an example. Let's say that I'm a business coach and I'm talking about tips for making money online. And let's say that my first point is to stay consistent. Here's what that would look like using the story hook for my value.
Imagine that there are 2 guys, John and Mac, doing the exact same business model, but there is a problem. Mac lacks the determination and patience because he isn't seeing instant results, so he constantly gives up and tries again. And this cycle continues again and again. However, John doesn't give up so easily. He understands that business is a long-term game, and that with enough work and patience, he's going to succeed eventually. After 1 year in business, who do you think is going to make more money? If you said John, you're correct.
See how that was way more entertaining than if I said, you should just be consistent. The last part of writing a script is writing your call to action. This is pretty straightforward. At the end of the video, you just need to get your viewers to take the action that you want them to take. This can be to like, subscribe, watch one of your other videos, or even buy your product. Just don't overcomplicate it and make it super easy to understand. Now, after we finished writing our script, we get to the fun stuff. If you don't do this step correctly, your video won't go viral and all of your time and effort will go to waste. This could be an entire video topic within itself, but I'll keep it simple for you. After editing over 100 videos, here's the system that I use to edit my videos. But first of all, we need some audio. You can either record yourself reading the script if you have a good voice and a microphone, or you can use 11 labs like I do. Just make sure to add a bunch of exclamation marks, question marks, and full stops to give your voice more emotions. After we get our audio ready, we're going to import it. For this video, I am using premium Premiere Pro, but you can use any software that you'd like. Import your audio, cut out all the pauses and stops, and make a jump cut like this, but make sure that it sounds natural. After you've done that with all of your audio, it's time to add some visuals. To do this, we are going to separate our timeline into 3 parts. One for character, one for text, one for animations. Let's start with the character. In Photoshop, I've made this character, and I separated all of the parts which need to be animated into their own separate layers. You can get this character in the link in the description, as well as almost 500 of my assets for free. Now we need to animate the character. For this, I'm going to use After Effects, but you can do this in other free programs as well. First of all, import the character into the composition and select Import as Composition. Now we've got a character separated into different layers. Next thing that we have to do is place anchor points of these layers in the places where our limbs naturally are. This way, the movement of our character looks much more natural. Next thing that we have to do is animate the hands. We're going to pin our hand to our arm, and then we're going to animate our arm to move. Perfect. Our character is done. Now I'm going to show you how you can create simple animations like this. Let's start. First of all, create a background. I'll choose black, for example. Next, we need to create these elements. Create a circle. Make it dark gray. Next, we need to find these icons. You can find them at flaticon.com. After you've downloaded them, import them, and put a fill effect on them. Make it white. Good. Next, place it in the circle, and copy this process for as many circles as you need. Next, we need to create this line. Pull up the pen tool and set the stroke width and color to your liking. Now make 2 points to create a line. Let's make it round. Okay, now we need to animate it. Add the trim paths effect to it, and set the start to 0 and create a keyframe. Go forward a little bit and create another keyframe. This time set it to 100%. Select those keyframes, press F9 to make them easy ease keyframes, and select this graph. Now make these handles closer together. This will make your line move smoothly. Now we need to make these circles move. Select the first one and select Scale Keyframe. Set it to 0%. Go forward a little bit and make it 100%. Do the same thing with the graph. Now go and select Opacity Keyframes and do the same thing as you did with the Scale Keyframes. Set it to 0, then 100, and then graph. Okay, after you've done that, copy those Opacity Keyframes and paste them onto the icon. This way, both the circle and the icon appear at the same time. Copy these for other circles and icons, but we are missing one crucial thing, and that is text. Go ahead and select the text tool and write your own text. Pick a font that you like. These are my favorite ones to use. Place them where they need to be, and make opacity keyframes match the previous animations. Now there is only one thing that is left for us to do. Create an adjustment layer and apply these settings. You can adjust them to your liking, but this is just what works the best for me. Now let's take care of the final part of our editing by adding some text. After you've animated your character, and after you've added your animations, all that is left for us to do is fill all of the holes that are left with text. Place the text, apply these settings to it, and click and hold the Alt key to copy and write the text that is being said. Add some music, sound effects, and transitions, and boom, just like that you've created a banger video. This is the exact same system that I used to create this video that you're currently watching. Obviously, I can't go over everything about editing in this video, but I'll make a video about it in the future. But you can use these principles that I taught you to go ahead and start creating engaging videos that get views. Now let's move on to the last step. Did you know that even with the best editing in the world, your video can still flop? Think about it. If nobody clicks on your video, then it doesn't matter how good your script or the editing is. That's why we need a killer thumbnail. Make sure to follow carefully, because the success of your next video depends on this. For making my thumbnail, I'll use Photoshop, but you can use any other free alternative. But before we start creating, we must first know what thumbnails are working and which aren't. So you're going to search on YouTube top creators in your niche and top creators in a niche similar to yours. After you've done that, combine them and add your own spin to them. This is exactly what I've done with the thumbnail of this video. Okay, once you've done your research, it's time to start creating. Add your character, then add some text and apply these effects. Add some visuals, and then finally add a background. But something is missing. It's looking a bit unrealistic. So let's add some shading. Create a layer above the one that needs shadows added. Hold the Alt key and click between the layers. Pick a brush, select the right color. Make it a soft brush and lower the opacity to 25% and start painting. Once you're done, set the blending mode to overlay. Paint the surfaces which are in direct contact with the light lighter and the one on the opposite side darker, just like this. Create a layer below everything and paint under the areas which need to be highlighted. Once you're done, export the image and upload it to thumbsup.tv and see if the title and thumbnail look good on the homepage. If they do, then your job is done. If not, try again. If you do all of these steps correctly, then your next viral video should be right around the corner. However, we've only covered around 20% of each of these topics, but I'm currently working on these videos where I'll go in detail on how to do each of these things, so make sure to subscribe to see them. But until then, make sure to watch this video on the screen. That's it for today's video. Bye.